So once again, Verizon is here to support. We have multiple programs to help support our employees. So, we're here to help anybody in each and every way we can. But I wanted to say thank you to Stuart and thank you to our employees for the exemplary support that we provided to our community. Okay. All right. So changing topics now, I'm going to turn it over to Michael Pepe. Michael's going to talk about IT and how critical our services are to the enterprise IT landscape, and just making sure we're having the right conversations with the right folks within our client organizations. Turn it over to you, Michael.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, my name is Mike Pepe, and I'm part of Mark Burbach's Application and Cloud Enablement team, and we will talk about IT landscape, and that conversation starts with applications. Next slide. We live in the application economy, and every business is in the software business. Whether it's healthcare industries, financial institutions, retail, they're all going through digital transformation. They're all taking their products and services and creating really cool, innovative applications, and they're bringing them to the market via websites and social media, mobile applications. And these innovative applications are driving the economy. And it's exciting to see how these applications are communicating with other applications to make advanced algorithmic decisions or to automate process. Next. Let's give an example here. Goldman Sachs is a tech company. They're in the software business. In fact, Lloyd Blankfein, the CEO of Goldman Sachs, he loves to talk about how Goldman Sachs is going through digital transformation. He even points out that he has more developers in-house than Facebook and Twitter combined. And in last June, Lloyd was on CNBC with Jim Cramer talking about the new application Marcus they see in the bottom right. And Marcus is a loan application that gives loans out for $3,000 up to $30,000. And when you fill out this form and submit it, this application makes API calls out to check on my credit report, to check on bank. It collects data, and it makes an algorithmic decision to see if I qualify for the loan. Next. APIs, Application Program Interface. They are the standard way for applications to communicate with other applications. They're the building blocks, the Legos. They're the building blocks and Legos for applications to communicate and for Verizon to have bigger and bolder conversations with our customers. Think of it like applications making phone calls to other applications. Let me give you an example. With Amazon's Alexa, you can order pizza simply by saying, Alexa, open Domino's and place an easy order. Domino's is in the software business, and Domino's has APIs that communicate with Alexa. APIs are driving revenue and brand. Another example, online retail. When you purchase a product from online Walmart, an API, quote-unquote, phone call is made out to your credit card company. And it's made out to, say, Federal Express for package and tracking information. These applications are constantly making API calls out to make decisions. And they need to be resilient. Can you imagine if online Walmart application crashed? What would that do to the brand? And these intuitive applications can make or break the business. And this is what executives are thinking about. Next. In fact, 94% of executives have an initiative to get more applications out to the market and to make them resilient. And they're constantly thinking about their applications, and they're thinking about how to make them more resilient and how to get more applications. And they're thinking about their application factory. Next. And Verizon lights up this application factory. Let's take a walk through the application factory. It starts with the application, that really cool, intuitive application that makes API calls out for these algorithmic decisions and to automate process. But these applications are not recognized by the business until they go through a whole quality assurance process. Next. They have to go through a whole dev, test, prod. They have to become resilient. They have to go through quality assurance in all of these different test environments, and they have to pass every one of these test environments before they get over to the production. They have to go through interoperability labs and make sure that they communicate properly over APIs to other applications. They have to go through user acceptance tests and make sure from a user's point of view, it performs well and does exactly what it's supposed to do, and it looks and has the same look and feel for the company. It has to go through all these different types of security testing. It has to go through performance testing from Androids to Apples and Linux and Windows on every platform. This is the software delivery lifecycle pipeline. And when it finally passes all of these test environments, it gets promoted over to the production system, where the business now can realize the value of these applications, where they provide a better customer experience. Next. And these test environments sit on this complex hybrid IT. It sits on legacy systems and virtual machines and cloud service providers and physical systems, whether it's data centers or Equinix Colo. Let's journey back into the cloud for a second. Let's journey into the cloud with our customers. Why are they moving their applications into the cloud? Well, for one thing, they want to save on capital expenditures. They want to use the cloud as a utility model, as a pay-per-use, just like you use electricity at home. They want to spin up 1,000 systems for their test process and then turn them off when they're not needed. And they want to right-size those workloads perfectly to match the compute power. But they're also going into the cloud because it gives them a faster time to market. It gives them a faster time to market because the cloud is software-defined. It's a software-defined data center that can tie into this application delivery lifecycle that you see on top. And when I say the word software-defined, think of APIs, application program interfaces. And when I say APIs, think of automation. And that's exactly what DevOps is doing. Next. DevOps is about development team and the operations team going through a whole cultural transformation. They started communicating, collaborating, integrating. They created really cool tools to help automate this testing environment, this process, and deliver it over to the production systems. They've created tools that automate the delivery from one test environment to the next. They've created tools that automate instantiating all their systems in the cloud. They don't use graphic user interface for their cloud service providers. Everything's automated, everything's scripted, everything's done with APIs and programming languages. The cloud is automated. They've automated all of the testing. All the clicking that you would normally do manually to test the developer's code through each iteration is now fully automated. This whole environment is automated. And then they took all of these applications, these automation applications for delivery and building out the cloud and testing, and they integrated them all. They integrated them through APIs. And the whole cycle, the whole continuous delivery process is automated. Next. Our customers are constantly improving their factory. In fact, they're moving their legacy systems over to Equinix. They're moving their legacy systems over to Equinix because Equinix hosts the cloud, the public cloud. They host Amazon and Azure and SAP and Google. And because my legacy systems are right across the hall from the public cloud, I can have low latency access to it. So what does this all mean to Verizon? Next. Everything. Verizon is the backbone to this application factory. We light up this application factory. We do connectivity via VNS and security and continual improvement with our mapping solutions and optimization with intelligent cloud control and other products and managed services and professional services. And as our customers journey into the cloud, we don't just sell them security and connectivity via SCI. We look at managed services and optimization like intelligent cloud control or continual improvement with app dynamics and actual experience and other solutions. Other solutions. Next. Yeah, we have a whole partner ecosystem. a partner ecosystem that gives us these building blocks, these APIs, these Legos to snap on and tell bigger and bolder stories. We have NetApp and Splunk and AppDynamics and Turbonomics and Equinix and SnapLogic and Riverbed and Viptela and Versys, and the list goes on. And it's like Devika said, our partners are willing to come in and help tell the story and tie that back down to the network. And they're going to help us give better opportunities to build value, to connect our customers' business decisions and transactions to the network. This is where the conversation starts, these Legos, this partner ecosystem, snapping them together and creating stories. Let's go through an example. Let's create a story. Next. In this example, I'm going to take two of our building blocks, our Legos. I'm going to take and snap them together through APIs. So we're going to take Viptela, which does a great job of creating software-defined network segments and creates quality of service policies for applications. And I'm also going to take AppDynamics, which monitors the whole software delivery lifecycle, the software delivery lifecycle to the transaction level. And it can map the importance of an application going through that lifecycle to the line of business. And based on that importance, it can give it a quality of service value. So when, let's hit next, when that application goes through that pipeline, when the development sends the application through the software delivery lifecycle pipeline, AppDynamics can send an API request to the orchestration manager. And the orchestration manager can send an API request to Viptela to create or change policy buckets. And when AppDynamics detects that this application dynamically increases as the business grows, AppDynamics can send another API request to Viptela, to their future dynamic engine to increase bandwidth. And this is a great example of how Verizon's network is solving application choke points that could potentially occur. With all of these different Legos, we can build bigger solution maps. What kind of solution maps can we add to these stories with these blocks? Next. We've heard of DevOps. DevOps went through a cultural transformation, communicating, collaborating, and integrating. Well, welcome to DevNet, where Verizon's going to light up this application factory. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Michael. Yep, so thank you, Michael. It's absolutely critical. As you said, the network is so fundamental to what our customers are trying to do as part of their application factory. So it's, you know, for us to understand the full picture is how we would better position the network and the criticality of it from an end-to-end standpoint. I'm going to now move on to Joe and Raul. We'll talk about the Equinix and IBM partnership.
And Joe and Raul did not coordinate our pictures with a black suit, white shirt, and red tie. That is completely a coincidence. So thanks, Devika. Hi, everyone. So I'll just give an update on what's happening with Equinix and where we are and what some of the plans are, and then I'll turn it over to turn it back to Devika, and Raul can go over the IBM portion. So as everyone knows, in the United States and South America, we sold our co-location centers to Equinix. The rest of the co-location centers around the world we still own. So since we've been going through this since May when we closed the deal,